This is tough run. 2 miles. Let's kick my butt. Kind of a good wake-up call.
You know, life's a funny thing. Some of us are dealt some pretty cruddy cards, and then we're expected to just grow up, normal. That leaves a lot of us to struggle as we navigate through life's difficult times. And if you're anything like me, you have no idea what the hell normal is. Welcome to the Wishbone Podcast with me, your host, Luke Ohana, as we discuss and share our life stories in hopes of helping each other out. So if you got 30 minutes, let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Okay. Obviously, I'm in the same clothes. If you didn't notice, I am. I'm going to be recording all these things at once. I wanted to kind of get a solid month under my belt before I started doing these weekly progresses to kind of gauge where I was in this thing. But it's been very, very, very cool. Progress has been kind of a rocket, and it's exciting. But today we're going to be talking about the very first week. And I will tell you, it was a doozy. All right? So, if you guys remember in the very first, in last week's episode, I talked about how I could see my ego getting ahead of itself and destroying the process. So you really have to trust the Zone 2 process. You really have to, from everything I've seen, it's a very strong, powerful process, and it can get you faster. Like the whole mentality is run slower to run faster, okay? And it's crazy it sounds like that, but with that being said, we're going to kind of get into the very first week's progress, and it was, in my opinion, dismal, but there's a glint of hope in there, okay? So I have this, I created a spreadsheet. I actually have my my 50-week goal from last week till May 19th of 2025. And it's very exciting to see it happen. So, day one. All right, first run of this journey, and we're gonna put a mile in, and yeah, let's get to it.
First half of the mile done. It's gonna be a long journey. It's gonna be uphill a lot. But I got my son running with me, and he's killing it. That's him. It's our first run together, and I couldn't be happier. Okay. Whew. Just finished that first mile. My boy, so happy we didn't. Just shy of 12 minutes, which is kind of scary because that's what I gave myself for walking speed for a mile. So kind of puts things in perspective, but it'll be fun. Day one, let's go.
We started with just a mile. It was just a little over a mile, 1.08, and we ran it in 13 minutes and 56 seconds, which at the time was very, very long for me. I thought that's ridiculous. It's almost double the time that I think I could run a mile in. But remember, it's not about how fast you can run a mile. It's about building your aerobic base, okay? So I will say this. The first 15 seconds of running, my heart rate jacked above my Zone 2, which my Zone 2 at the time is going to be 131 to 141. It quickly escalated, so I'd have to walk. And it was more of like a 60-40 split. 60% of the time I was walking to maintain my heart rate. And even when I did run, my heart rate would stay elevated for quite some time. Fine. Another way to think of Zone 2 running, though, which is very exciting, is you run to stay fresh. So sure enough, the second day, I wasn't sore. It was mind-boggling. Yes, running, it sucked. Like, I hadn't been running, and I had this extra weight on me, and you could feel it. And so my joints hurt. I've been nursing this, what I believe is a patellar tendinopathy injury, where last year we were hiking out of Coquette after a hunting trip, Mike and I, and we had a big heavy bag, maybe 80 to 100 pounds, and we hiked, I don't know, the 10 miles out, whatever it was. I, of course, was huffing and puffing the whole time. We gained about 4,000 feet in elevation, I think, on the hike out. and my knee swelled up. It didn't really hurt, but I couldn't bend it. I couldn't do anything, and I nursed it. The swelling went down, but the pain was always there. Anytime I put weight on it, it was there. Anytime I exerted myself on that knee, it was there. So I would rice it, I would rest it, I'd ice it, I'd compress it, and I would elevate it. And after a year, it still didn't get any better. And we were trying to work out, but I didn't want to push myself to a permanent injury. So we were doing some mini sprints, mini splits with sprints in it, and it hurt. And so I was thinking, crap, I can't run, I can't jump rope, I can lift, which is great. So these runs freaks me out a little bit, but after doing some research, this type of injury isn't one that you can necessarily rest and have it go away. You need to actually work your way through treatment. And so treating it and working your way through the injury is going to help strengthen it. A lot of it is due to a weak quad, and so your knee actually, instead of being supported by stronger quad muscles, your knee and that tendon get hit pretty hard. And so then you end up getting an injury on it. And I will say every step of this first and second, third, fourth, first week, I felt every hit, every walk, every step. It definitely felt painful on my knee.
Day 2 of the journey. So let's get started. Okay, just started the second day of the run, and I got my youngest with me now. We're doing it. All right, let's keep going.
Second day was another mile. I wanted to really start off slow. You can actually see here in the layout that I have a 7-day plan with one rest day. And I felt like if I can actually progress slow enough and do this correctly, then one rest day is enough. Now, one rest day is mandatory. 2 days is probably better for someone like me who's just starting into this, but I feel like as long as I can progress into this nice and slow, I think I can do with 1 day. So you can see here on Wednesday, the second day, we had another mile, and it was 10 minutes 56 seconds. A little bit faster and a little bit more what I would consider appropriate. However, the reason I want to do these numbers is I want them to lead me rather than my ego. So I ended up getting a chest strap. I have the Pulse H10, and I got some nice shoes. I have the Brooks Ghost 15s, and I really want to do this correctly. So you'll see here that while my times are pretty fast here, they end up decreasing. My times actually increase, rather. My times increase due to me really sticking to the plan and not to my ego. And what's kind of cool is I made sure to write notes. So like here on day 1, I say ran with Erwin. It was amazing. Tried to get the hang of zone 2 running. A lot of walking for now. I truly enjoyed running with Erwin. Felt good to run again. My boy Graham was not feeling good at the time, so he did not run that day. Day 2, I said I ran with Graham today, and it was fantastic. He ran the entire half mile. So proud. It was great running with both boys. Again, struggling with staying in zone 2. Still roughly walking, running. Legs felt good, breathing heavily. Which, it's kind of nuts because you're not really running. Like, I am shuffling at a snail's pace. But again, trust the process. It's pretty remarkable.
Day 3 of the journey. Today's my long run. So we're doing 2 miles today. So I'm just starting. Let's get it. This is a tough run. 2 miles. Let's kick my butt. Kind of a good wake-up call for how hard this is going to be. Let's get it.
So day 3, we're going to run 2 miles on this day, and Thursday, Friday are my long back-to-back days, and again, I'm starting out slow, so week 1, I only do 2 miles, and I really struggled with this run, crept into zone 3 quite a bit. Hard run in the sense of heavy breathing and mental drain. I didn't necessarily want to quit right away, but it was definitely a struggle. Went home after this run and really tackled a game plan for zone 2 running. Excited for my next B2B runs, my next back-to-back runs. So What I found very disheartening in the beginning, and a lot of people from what I've seen do, is the fact that you have to run so slow. Um, there's an ultra runner I follow on YouTube. His name's Simon. Shout out to him. He has a very funny point, but he was talking about how people are like, "Hey, I can't run zone 2 unless I walk." And he said, "Bingo, then you walk it. That's it." His 2 points to help you out if you ever need a reminder is you're not running slow enough and you're still not running slow enough to zone 2. And for a beginner, that's really, really critical. Just get rid of the ego, which was very difficult for me, but follow your numbers. Your numbers are going to be a game changer.
All right, day 4. We're going to go for 6 miles today. Strictly zone 2. At least we're going to try. I got Keola here. T. Let's go. Okay, so we're a little over 1.5 miles into the run at zone 2, and we're walking on flat ground. So a little crazy that I'm passing zone 2 so easily, but that's the exciting part. See the improvement. Feeling good though. Day 4, and I'm liking it. Let's keep going. All right, we did 6 miles. Just closing in on the 6 mile mark. Did zone 2 most of the time. Had to walk quite a bit, but we did it. See you tomorrow.
So the next day I ran 6 miles, which was a first in a long time. Like, I think the last time I ran anything over 5 miles was maybe 8 years ago. And so 6 miles. So really focused on staying in Z2. Ran with Keola. It was actually a very enjoyable run. Yes, it was a 50-50 walk run, but it was sustainable. Felt the strain on my right knee and cardio system, but excited to see the benefits. Finished the run in 90 minutes. Going to switch to B2B runs to time, meaning instead of running for miles, I'm going to run 45 minutes or 90 minutes. A lot of the studies say that's really where you start to see the benefits, is from 45 minutes and on. And my back-to-back runs are going to be 90 minutes. And then the next day was rest day. But I will say each day I woke up fine. I was great. Yes, I was not sore, but I was maybe stiff, as if you were working out. And that stiffness actually is kind of a good thing, in my opinion. It lets you know that you did work your muscles, your body's recovering. This also is the last week that I have taken any alcohol. I think Tuesday and Wednesday I might have had a Pepsi and wine. Weird combination. I saw it. It's actually like an adult cherry soda. But those are the last 2 days that I've had any alcohol this week. And then Sunday was speed day. I really want to focus on 80% of my training being zone 2, with the other 2 days being interval training and threshold training, and then also speed work. So I ran midday. It was super hot. We ran just middle of the day. Ran 6 intervals of about 200 yards, 3 back-to-back laps per interval, starting with a moderate pace, so maybe zone 2. Then I doubled that, so maybe 3 or 4, and then maybe 90% of my effort for the third lap. Then I would walk back and forth between these lap lengths until my heart rate reduced, and then I would do it again. And really what you want to do is from what I've come to understand, you don't want to run to the point that you're exhausted. You have nothing left in the tank, because you can't run tomorrow. A lot of ultra runners, long distance athletes will say, run today so you can run tomorrow. So you're running enough today to get your workout in, to get your benefits, but you're not running so much that you can't run tomorrow. So I did 4 intervals. I felt like that was it for me. That was about 90% what I had in the tank. And what's very cool is I'm actually really tuning into kind of myself. I'm really getting into how my body's reacting, how it's responding to this. I'm not trying to be egotistical about it, and it's been very exciting. I continue to write that nursing my right patella, stretched afterwards, still had gas in the tank and still had gas in the tank for more, and legs felt strong, which is the first time during this week that they have felt this way. So I actually ran that day by myself, but I had Erwin and William with me at the park. It was a great day. I really, really enjoyed it. Again, something to help get you out there with your kids. I loved it. I really wish I had more time running with my dad. I don't think he necessarily thought of his bonding time, but of course I did. I really enjoyed those few moments that I had with him in that kind of neutral atmosphere where he wasn't mad, he wasn't trying to do anything, get anything out of me. He was just really suffering me until he could take off. Maybe warming up enough where I could keep up with him until he was warming up and ready to go. But I do remember as a kid, me kind of emulating him and thinking, I'm a gazelle too, I'm a gazelle too. So it's definitely something that I've looked back on now with fond memories. And again, running was so fun for me. It was so freeing. It's just something that my legs were able to do for me. And I know some of us who have OI can't walk. We're we're wheelchair bound. And for you guys, you know, it kind of drives me even further to kind of, I have access to my legs. They can take me a lot of places, and I'm going to use them. I don't want to kind of suffer the fact that I have legs that I don't use. That's kind of a waste. And so, and for those of you who do have legs that do suffer from OI, I really encourage you to check out Zone 2 Running. Hit me up with any questions, any ideas that you have. I would love to kind of go along this trail with you, this journey with you. And for those of you who already been on this trail, I would love to hear some ideas and some success stories from you. You can follow me on Strava at Luca Ohana, and I would love to see you there. This movement that we have going on at work is it's been very, very cool. I really, really enjoy the fact that we're creating this kind of organic, run club at work, and kind of inspiring others. I will say a shout out to my brother Mike. He said he will run the 40 with me on my birthday, which I can't thank him enough. He was a little concerned that I was, he asked, do you want this to be just a you thing, or is it okay if I join? And I took me back a little bit. I would love if anyone came with me. And my mind was instantly like, well, it's just going to be me and my legs on that trail, right? You can't really carry me. But I understood that he was trying to, if I wanted it to be a my thing, he was going to let me have it. But I'm definitely happy to have anyone there. I mean, more support, the better. I think this would be such a cool thing. So for those of you who are watching this, if you want to join us, we're trying to set something up with work where we're going to have different lengths of runs on that day and maybe relays and whatnot. So check us out. But yeah, let's keep hitting it hard, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to check out the show notes. As always, let's give them something to smile about, and we'll see you guys next week.